Welcome into Chicago Bears Now. I am your host, Harrison Graham, as always. Shout out to Manscaped for sponsoring today's show. If you want to stay nice and clean, nice and tidy with the best men's grooming products on the planet, go check out Manscaped. 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com. Got to insert promo code BEARS20 to get that 20% off. Well, guys, when you think this NFL offseason cannot get crazier, buckle up because it does. Wow, we got to react to Tyreek Hill being traded from the Kansas City Chiefs to the Miami Dolphins. Now, briefly, a couple of you guys were sliding the DMs. Oh, Ryan Poles, going to go get Tyreek Hill. So I was like, all right, I started scripted a show. Like, maybe we could, do this as a show as a possibility to go trade for him. But it came together so fast that he was traded to Miami. If you missed it, here are the trade details. Tyreek Hill to the Dolphins for a first this year, number 29 overall, a second this year, number 50 overall, fourth-round pick this year, and then a fourth and a sixth next year for Tyreek Hill. And by the way, terrible trade for the Chiefs. I don't really know what they're doing on that front. I am shocked that they traded Tyreek Hill. And the fact that it was for that trade package, I'll be honest, I know the Bears don't have a first-round pick this year, but a part of me was almost like, would I have traded next year's first and then the same exact picks for Hill if I was Ryan Poles? Might have considered it. Now, Tyreek Hill had a no-trade clause, so he was able to kind of choose where he wanted to go. But they just traded a player that has done stuff that no other player in the history of this league has done. Through 6 seasons, only Jerry Rice and Randy Moss can mirror these numbers. His speed and athleticism and explosiveness cannot be matched by any player in the history of the sport. It's unreal. And that's why I might have considered a similar trade package for Tyreek Hill. I certainly don't blame Poles not doing it. This team has already traded future firsts too many times in the past, but only one first that ended up being number 29 overall, a second, 2 fourths, and a 6th. That's not that bad for Miami. In fact, I would argue that it's very good. I'm not surprised the Bears didn't get involved since they don't have a first-round pick this year, and maybe it would have been a non-starter for the Chiefs anyway since they don't have a first-round this year. Would you have traded next year's first and more picks for Tyreek Hill? Would you have done it? I'm just curious. Weigh in for us in the comments. Type Y for yes. Type in for no. Would you have traded next year's first-round pick plus more picks for Tyreek Hill? All right, let's get into some more Bears-specific stuff. KJ Wright, he spoke highly of Justin Fields as he joined Lawrence Holmes' show on Tuesday. Thought we would cover this and attack it from a few different angles. Here's what Wright had to say regarding the Bears' second-year quarterback. Quote, Justin Fields, you can tell he has all the tools to be successful. I love his deep ball. I love the way that when the play breaks down, he's not afraid to take off running. You can tell that they reached up and took him in the draft for a reason. I love his confidence. I love his demeanor. When he's out on the football field, he doesn't get too rattled. The main point I want to make here is, because I think some of you guys aren't convinced, players, teams around the league, they like Justin Fields. They think highly of him. There was a lot of chatter out of the combine that scouts, GMs still believe in Fields and think he can be a real good player for the Chicago Bears. KJ Wright, a guy who has seen a lot of good quarterbacks and having to try and defend him over the years, spoke highly of him. He faced Justin Fields last year as a member of the Las Vegas Raiders. Remember when Fields made some clutch throws to ice that game? Obviously, the numbers were inconsistent last year. We know that. We've talked about that quite a bit. But it is important to note that a lot of players in this league believe in this kid and his ability. KJ Wright, just the latest to speak highly on that. And I think, look, that makes me feel good because Fields needs to be the guy. Because if he's not, then you're like, okay, where are we at now? Because you're already seeing the Bears kind of retool this roster. And if Fields isn't the guy, like if we're sitting here next offseason, we're like, I don't know if this is the right quarterback, then you got to get a quarterback too. So hopefully he's the guy. I think he's the guy. Let's talk a little bit more about KJ Wright in a second. But first, shout out Manscaped. Appreciate them once again for sponsoring today's show. I'm a big fan of the Lawnmower 4.0, and my wife says I should take this to my face because I don't know if the beard's ever been this thick before. It's a ball hair trimmer, but it works up here as well. 20% off plus free shipping, manscaped.com. 4 adjustable guards, so if you want to leave a little bit of hair, you can certainly do that as well. Wireless charging station. Marked down from that $90 price with that promo code BEARS20. Link in the comments. promo code in the comments and description as well. Manscaped.com, promo code Bears20. Go check out the all-in Lawnmower 4.0. It's an excellent ball hair trimmer and advanced skincare technology. Don't have to worry about those cuts. By the way, when it comes to KJ Wright, the Bears could use another linebacker if they want to explore a guy like KJ Wright, who I think would be a decent little option here. I mean, this team needs backers bad. I mean, you've got Roquan Smith, who's a superstar. I like Nick Morrow. We'll see where those two guys play. You could put Roquan at middle, Nicholas Morrow at Will or Sam. He's pretty versatile. I don't think Caleb Johnson's going to start for you, but this is kind of what you got right now. I could see a guy like KJ Wright. Maybe he comes in. He plays Will or middle. Morrow plays Sam as your number 3 linebacker, and Roquan's your superstar. KJ Wright did some decent things for the Raiders last year. He's not what he once was, but he's still a good player, and he was a part of those Legion of Boom defenses, and he would bring some leadership aspects as well. Should the Bears go out and sign KJ Wright? Type S for sign, type P for pass. He likes Justin Fields. Hey, if it's a cheap one-year deal, you could do a lot worse as your number 2 or number 3 linebacker. Type S for sign, or you can type P for pass. Now, I did want to cover this. This one came down last night. Terron Armstead, a potential Bears free agent target. He signed with the Miami Dolphins. 5 years, $75 million, up to $87.5 million in guarantee or in total money with incentives. Over half of that is guaranteed at almost $44 million. So big contract. $15 million per year on the base is kind of what I expected, 15 to 18. It's not a ton, but 5 years is a lot. Now they can get out of it after about 3 years. That being said, I don't blame the Bears for passing. I don't think the Bears feel like they're an elite left tackle away, especially one who's 31 years old with injury history, of making a Super Bowl. I like Armstead. For the right contract, I would have done it. But I don't blame Ryan Poles for passing here. This guy has missed so much time. He's 31. They're going in a different direction. They're going younger. They want to get guys who can stay on the football field. We'll see what happens with Ryan Bates, but I certainly don't blame Poles for passing on Armstead. Make sure you guys subscribe here on YouTube, youtube.com/BearsNow for the best Bears coverage here on the internet. Chicago Bears news, rumors. Sometimes we react to other big NFL stories like Tyreek Hill getting traded. We cover it all, youtube.com/BearsNow. So no Terron Armstead. That kind of leaves us still with some question marks, which there still would have been questions even if he didn't sign. Lucas Patrick's going to start at center. Beyond that, we don't really know, right? Where does Tevin Jenkins fit in? I have him in at left tackle for now, but that's mostly because they don't have a left tackle. Cody Whitehair, is he going to start at left guard, right guard? Is he going to start? Who knows? Larry Borum, we don't know how this regime feels about him. Regardless, you need at least one more lineman. You don't have a 5th player who can even pretend to start. What, are you going to start Lachavious Simmons? I highly doubt it. This O-line needs help. We all know that. I expect Poles to go out and get help. I think this team likes Ryan Bates. We'll see if they sign him to a contract offer, and then with him being restricted, we'll see if Buffalo matches it. But that's obviously something to monitor moving forward. But even beyond him, let's say you get Ryan Bates, you still probably need at least one more piece, unless you're going to start Borum and Jenkins at your tackle spots, which you might. But even if you do, you got no depth, basically. I mean, Mustipher is a decent backup center, but that's it. Like, Lachavious Simmons, he sucks. We've seen him play. Alex Bars is gone. I kind of liked him as a rotation guy, but he's gone. You need more. You need more depth pieces, and you especially need more starters. So we'll see what happens with Bates and some potential other targets. I think Eric Fisher, a potential name to keep in mind as well. Do you trust Ryan Poles? Type T for trust, type D for don't. Anyone who says D for don't, just remember you're doing that less than 2 weeks into his first free agency as a general manager. It's early. He told us he was going to attack second and third waves of free agency. I'd say we're firmly in that second wave right now. Let's give it time, but I do understand the patience starting to wear thin a little bit. You got holes to fill. Even if you're not going to fill all of them this year and leave some of them for next year, you still can't. You're not ready to go play a football game with how your roster is set. So I certainly understand some hesitation from Ryan Poles. Another transaction, Deon Bush has signed with the Kansas City Chiefs, 1-year deal, core special teamers for the Bears in recent years. Pretty decent safety when he had to play as well, perfect third safety. He moves on, he signs with Kansas City. Adam Schefter had the news earlier today, 1-year deal. And what was kind of funny is Bush gets the deal, and in the middle of the Tyreek Hill chaos, he didn't realize that Hill was about to get traded or got traded, and he tweeted out, hey, what's up, Chiefs Kingdom? But then he responded with, whoa, I'll get back to y'all later, because Chiefs Kingdom was not happy after the Tyreek Hill stuff. Obviously, the Bears brought back DeAndre Houston-Carson. He's a good third safety, good special teamer. Can start if needed as well. Don't really need him and Bush, so I'm not surprised that they just picked one and let the other one walk. You do need another safety, though. I don't think DHC will start next to Eddie Jackson. I'm guessing he'll be your third safety slash kind of nickel safety net. We'll see what they do, but I got to think that this team is going to add another safety, preferably a strong safety, to pair next to Eddie Jackson. Here are a few players that could do that. All these guys kind of fit that strong safety realm here. Tyrann Mathieu, we've talked about him, the connection to Ryan Poles. Landon Collins, who got released by Washington, I think he's an intriguing name. Terrell Edmonds from Pittsburgh had a decent year last year as a strong safety, a couple of picks, over 80 tackles. Keanu Neal, who flirted as a linebacker last year. He announced that he's going to move back to strong safety. He could be a cheap option. Jabril Peppers has had some success in this league. There's guys out there. All 5 of these guys would fit that role of being that strong safety next to Eddie Jackson. So I'll be curious to see which direction they go in there. I think how we've seen this play out, one thing we do know for sure is Eddie Jackson's going to be a part of this team for at least this year. We'll see beyond that, but you need another guy to pair with him, and if you got rid of him for some reason, then you need 2 safeties in all reality. Name a player that the Bears will sign moving forward at any position. Safety, linebacker, obviously receiver, O-line. You need pieces all over this roster still if you are Ryan Poles and the Bears. So predict it for us. Name a player that you think the Bears will sign. All right, a lot of stuff that we covered here on today's show. I'm still shocked that Tyreek Hill got traded. Would have been nice if he was a Bear, but certainly am not surprised that he is not. Hit that subscribe button, youtube.com/BearsNow. We will continue to have you guys covered throughout this NFL offseason. Hit that sub button. We'll see you soon here on the channel.